ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Kaged Review, and this is my review for Superman Returns. Might as well call it Superman the Movie, the reboot. Look, man, they were clearly trying to go for the look, the feel, the sound of the original Superman movie. And I think Bryan Singer really tried to recreate everything as best he could. Brandon Routh, he looks like Christopher Reeve did. He sounds like Christopher Reeve did. I think he tried to play the part like Christopher Reeve did. And I don't know if that was his own choice or I would have to imagine that was the direction given him. But either way, this movie was designed to be a sequel of Superman 1 and 2. That was actually said. And so they tried, is what they did. I'm a huge Superman fan. I have been. Some people think he's a very vanilla superhero. I love the lore. I love the backstory for Superman. And when you actually dig into it, I think it's actually very, very cool. Having said that, this movie starts out, you have almost an identical sequence of opening credits compared to the first movie. Updated graphics for sure, but you have a score that sounds very much the same. The graphics look very much like an updated version of the original Superman the movie graphics. And there you go. Here's the issue. You're using the same vanilla villain, which is the easiest one to make, which is Lex Luthor, who is played by Kevin Spacey. And I think that Kevin Spacey did a great job with this role. As much as I can't stand him now with what we know about him, he was a good actor. A great actor, in fact. The problem is that using Lex Luthor in general is taking the easy way out when you have so many other villains that you could have chosen for this movie. Bringing back Lex Luthor, it's literally the exact same scenario as you get in 1 and 2, the original first two Superman movies. You have Lex Luthor going to the Fortress of Solitude, opening up the secrets through Jor-El's, consciousness. It just repeats the same shit. And for a Superman movie, you actually don't get a lot of Superman. He doesn't have a lot of screen time as Clark Kent or Superman, which I thought was really, really sad to see. Like, by comparison, Brandon Routh does not get a whole lot of screen time. You see a lot of Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor and Kate Bosworth as Lois Lane. Lois Lane at this point, Superman has gone. He left Earth for a while. He went to go check out Krypton. He's back now. Lois Lane has since been married, had a kid. And the kid does become very important in the later parts of this movie. And so let me list off a couple of characters here. Usually I start out with this, but I started ranting before I even did the review, right? So you have Brandon Routh, Clark Kent, Kal-El, Superman, Eva Marie Saint as Martha Kent, Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor, Kate Bosworth as Lois Lane, Tristan Lake LeBeau as Jason White, Sam Huntington as Jimmy Olsen, Frank Langella as Perry White, Marlon Brando, they're using his voice as Jor-El, and Parker Posey as Kitty Kowalski. So the importance of Jason White, the son of Lois Lane, is that eventually you find out that it's actually Superman's kid. And there's a scene where they're both on a boat with Lex Luthor that takes like 30 minutes out of a 2.5-hour movie. And they got a guard there that eventually gets a piano thrown on him from this kid. And that's when you realize it's Superman's kid. And that's pretty late in the game, honestly. So Lex Luthor decides he's going to use these crystals to rebuild this like kryptonite island. And that's where he's going to weaken Superman, which he does. Superman goes there to fight Lex Luthor, gets weakened. Lex Luthor stabs him with an actual like kryptonite shank and then dumps him off the side of this island into the ocean. And so you see all that. Lois Lane is flying around with her husband looking for Clark Kent, Superman. They find him in the water. So they help him out. They obviously take the kryptonite out. And I mean, it's the same old story. Superman doesn't kill Lex Luthor or anything. It's the same vanilla tale that it's always been. And so they tried to recreate things with today's technology, which it definitely looked better, that's for sure. I mean, obviously it did. This is in 2006. The first movie started in 78. So you better have better technology. It better look better. There were things that they could do with this that they haven't been able to do before, like the scene with a machine gun that's just shooting up Superman and bullets are just flying off. That was cool to see. An amazing plane sequence, a plane that's carrying a space shuttle. The space shuttle is supposed to launch off, but the locks lock up. And so there's a big problem there. So Superman, he gets the shuttle off of the plane, sends it out into space where it's supposed to go, and then saves the plane from crashing. And it was a very cool sequence. I really, really liked it. Other than that, though, like Brandon Routh, he did not have the charm and the charisma that Christopher Reeve had. And so it was just very bland. When you saw him, that was supposed to have like big moments. They were moments, but they weren't big. And you see him eventually, you know, talk to his son and get to have that moment. But I just don't know that this movie worked very well for me. I mean, it's like I said, 2.5 hours, and you felt the 2.5 hours, especially with all the time they spent with Lois Lane. You know, you've got Superman Returns, but maybe a quarter to a third of this movie is actually Superman. That just seems to be an issue to me. So, I mean, it wasn't a terrible movie. Like I said, it did have a couple of very cool sequences. I like how it started with the, you know, the explosion of Krypton and Marlon Brando's monologue there. And then you had the plane sequence, which was very cool. I like the machine gun sequence too. So you had definitely Superman showing off his abilities. But from there, that's really all it was. And, you know, Bryan Singer come into this, directing this movie, hot off the heels of X-Men 1 and 2. And he absolutely killed those movies. They were phenomenal, especially X2, X-Men United, I thought was really, really good. And so I kind of, at this point, wish that Bryan Singer would have just finished out the trilogy instead of coming over here to DC and screwing up that character for me. Because that's really what it comes down to. So at the end of the day, I mean, it's very halfway for me. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. And I think that's honestly being a little bit charitable. But I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz, Kaged Nation, out.